This is the Lichtman Live post show. The greatest post show that's ever existed on the internet. And that's a fact. I want to give some shout outs to some people in the chat. Heather Grass. Grandma D is in the house. Joe Biden's #1 supporter is here. Philip H. Abe. Brookie. Roberto. How's everyone doing? Ross Goldberg. Brookie. Schindler's Pissed. What? Lucas. Sam from Minnesota. Jonathan. Brookie. Paul. So many great people in the chat. Raw's been waiting for the post. Thank you, Raw. Let's go. It's the Lichtman Live post show, the best post show that's ever existed on the internet. Everybody here knows that's a fact, an objective fact that can't be unproven. All right. What an amazing show today. You guys got my dad's analysis of the Electoral College. If you were watching, if you weren't watching, let me see if I can get it up. This was his prediction. And I feel like if I was to make a map today, this would also be my prediction. I think this is a solid prediction. Hey, you know what? She could win Arizona and Nevada as well. You never know. It ain't over till it's over. But this was his map. I think a good map. If I was to make a map today, I would probably make the exact same map. Not a prediction, don't forget. Not a prediction, just as analysis, not a prediction. Tim says it wasn't a prediction, but an observation. Correct. He just doesn't want people to conflate this with the keys or any sort of official thing. Because people, like we were talking about on the live show, he was so crystal clear that he was just saying Biden gives the Democrats the best chance to win. And still people were saying, oh, you predicted Biden to win. It's like he has to be so crystal clear. So that's why we were so crystal clear. Squirrely Squirrel says Trump has never won Nevada. Just saying. I mean, that's a perfectly valid point. Tyler K says a New York Times / Siena College / Philadelphia Inquirer poll found Harris winning 12% of Republicans in the state of PA. Follow up to my comment. Oh yes. Tyler made a comment on Lichtman Live saying that 12% of Republicans were voting for Harris in Pennsylvania. My dad asked for the source, and it is a New York Times, Siena College, Philadelphia Inquirer polls. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that clarification. I will let my dad know. Andrew says Nevada blue, North Carolina blue, Georgia red. That's a fair analysis. Look, I think at this point, Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina could literally go either way. It's almost impossible to tell. Raul says, we're going to have one hell of a party at the post show after the Harris win. Well, that'll be I don't know. We'll see what happens on election night. I can't guarantee there will be a Lichtman Live post show, but we'll see. 477 people watching. I appreciate that. That's the most people I've ever gotten on the Lichtman Live post show. So I appreciate you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you would. That would be great. Let's see. Sandwich says secret Kansas flip. Secret Kansas flip. That would be pretty wild. I don't know about that sandwich. I know the abortion referendum was big in that state, but Kansas is a pretty ruby red state. It's hard to predict it to go blue. Darth Vaden says, I think Texas will go blue by a slim margin of about 3%. That's pretty slim. That'd be pretty slim for Texas. Rocky Mountain says, Rocky Mountain Sports. Is that your name? The S is cut off. Rocky Mountain Sports, I think. It says Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Georgia, blue. I think that's a perfectly fair analysis. Oh, I have 500 people watching. That's amazing. Thank you all. Texas will stay red by 3%, says Philip. Where are people getting these 3%? There's multiple people have said 3% now. William Dang says Harris will not lose a Biden state. That's an interesting take. Sorry. I hear my dog making weird noises in the other room. I just want to make sure everything's okay. Oh, I can take my headphones off too. I always forget to do that in the Lichtman Live post show. Makes things a lot easier. Kiko, what do you got? You got something? No? Never mind, I was wrong. Sorry, folks. Cubic says, I don't think Arizona will go red. Look, hey, if you go back to my original, my official prediction, I can say it's an official prediction. My official prediction, it was this. So, I agree with a lot of you guys. Because if it goes like this, then we're all right. Right? Wisconsin and North Carolina go red. What are you basing the North Carolina going red on? It seems unlikely to me just because of the Rust Belt block. They voted the same so many times in a row now. Robert James says 276 Harris, 262 Trump. Kamala wins popular vote by 2.4 million. We need to, you know what I might do on my dad's channel? Is I might make a community post for everybody and say, give us your predictions. Electoral College margin and or popular vote. That'd be kind of cool. See like how many people, who gets like the closest to exactly correct. Should I thumbs up if you think I should do that? Thumbs down if you don't. Or if you have a better idea about how to phrase that. Thank you, Robert Ratz, for your donation. Pyloron says, from your interview with Mr. Beat and his system of predicting by misery index, what does that predict in 24? I believe he predicted Harris. People are giving thumbs up. Do it. Lee says she will win all swing states. Well, that's what my official prediction is. So, Roberto Ramling says the keys will fail. Very scary, Roberto. You're scaring me. Do I worry about a repeat of 2000? No. Kaio Asoni says Florida will be the major flip blue. Certainly possible. It's certainly possible. 590 people watching. Wow, this is a first for the Lichtman Live post show. Quarren says 292 Harris, North Carolina Rust Belt, and Nevada blue. Beat was live last night and reinforced the misery index prediction. Yeah, he predicted Harris when we were live with him. Oh, I've crossed the 600 mark. It's official. The Lichtman Live post show has now gotten 600 plus viewers. The best post show on the internet. I win the popular vote. That's funny. Bush won Florida because he actually cheated, right? Babin says, I was trying to say it earlier, but I am a door knocker in PA and have yet to see anyone knocking for Trump. Wow, interesting. I've knocked 1,000 doors here in PA. Not once. Trump has no ground game. That's very interesting. Thank you for your perspective. Adorian 101 says Wisconsin and Michigan were shockers in 16. Any you think in 24 would be a shocker? VA, New Mexico, Minnesota? No. I've lived in Virginia. Oh, that's one state I said. We were saying what states we lived in. I have lived in Virginia, technically. I've been in Virginia, or in and around Virginia my whole life. That state is not going red. No shot. In the presidential election. I know a Republican governor won there, but I'm talking about the presidential election. New Mexico, no. Minnesota, no. I don't think any of those are going red. No shockers on the other side of things. Jim Solmer says, did your dad say what could make his prediction wrong? He says he knows what the reason would be if he's wrong. No, he hasn't even shared that with me yet. I haven't even asked him I don't want to put him in a weird position because he seems to want to keep that a secret. So I haven't even asked him, to be honest with you. David says Musk has been hiring door knockers in PA. Interesting. RV Davies says, I voted blue straight down. Hey, if the best candidates are all blue, then vote all blue. Jason says Tennessee is voting left of California. What are you basing that on? Ross Goldberg says, do you and your dad sense a similar kind of anti-establishment, anti-mainstream vibe going on in this country to the degree that occurred in 2016? Yeah, I definitely get that for sure. I think Trump really was the catalyst for that, and it's kind of never gone away since. But I think Trump is too unpopular, widely speaking, for that to make a difference. What about Texas? Texas is going to be red, I'm pretty sure. My dad agreed. I think California and New York go red. Do you understand how population works, buddy? Nevada has more nonpartisan voters than Republicans or Dems, which makes it really hard to predict. Lots of ticket splitters here forever. Yeah. Nevada is a strange place. Nevada is probably the strangest state, just like generally speaking. Nevada is probably the strangest place in the U.S. It's like mostly empty, and then you've got Vegas and like Reno. It's just a strange place. Johnny Live says she is not losing PA. I kind of agree with you. I was a little bit surprised that my dad was so hesitant to call PA. That's why I forced him to do it in the end. But I don't know. I think she's got PA, in my opinion. Sandwiches. Nevada has very little actual land administered by the state government. Most of it's federal. Yeah, it's a weird state. It's a weird freaking state. Steve Bob says, I think Florida is the strangest place. Nah, it's Nevada. I mean, Florida is weird. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of normalcy in Florida too. I feel like there's like no normalcy in Nevada. Like their biggest population center is literally a place called Sin City. You know what I mean? Can you review early voting age distribution? Yes. So 44% are 65 and over. 27% are 50 to 56. 12% 40 to 49. 9% 30. So it's like going literally backwards from 65, it seems like. Let's see in some swing states. It's interesting that the same amount of 18 to 29-year-olds, only 1% difference between 30 to 39-year-olds and 40 to 49-year-olds. That's pretty interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, in these swing states, the 18 to 29-year-olds are hanging pretty close. Okay, except for Wisconsin. That's a little concerning. But Michigan and PA look good if you're a Kamala Harris supporter because there are so many young people voting compared to 30 to 49-year-olds. North Carolina. Okay, look at that. The same amount of 18 to 29-year-olds have voted as 30 to 39-year-olds. That's interesting. Georgia. Okay. Georgia has a little more of a boost among 40 to 49-year-olds at 14% to 11%. These are not as close. Not as close. To me, the interesting ones are Michigan and Pennsylvania. If you're a Kamala Harris supporter, that is. Where's my chat? I lost the chat. Here it is. RV Davis says, I voted in Arizona, Coconino County. Forgot to mention earlier. Thank you for voting. Bjorn says the latest 10 Democratic presidents. Oh, God damn it, I lost it. Starting with the second term of Grover Cleveland, have all had Democratic trifectas at the start of their terms, at least for 2 years. Will Harris get that? I believe so. I believe so. Young people need to turn out and vote. That's a fact. Who said that? Baba Gaga. 668 people watching. Thank you all for watching. Pamela Van Blaricum. Pamela Van Blaricum says 70-year-old white woman, never Trumper. There you go. They exist, people. Ted Cruz is close. Let's look at the Senate. We didn't have time to look at the Senate with my dad. Let's look at the Senate. 2024 Senate map. I know we looked at it last week on the Lichtman Live post show, but let's look at it again. Let me look at Texas polling. Texas Senate race polling. Now, again, we're my dad and I are anti-polling, but they do get a little bit more accurate as you get closer to the state level. I think this is the exact same polling as last time I checked. It's Cruz plus 3.3. I think this is literally identical to last time. So I don't think anything's really changed from last week. If you weren't here last week, this is where it's going, which would be a loss for the Democrats. Ohio, if they win Ohio, they would need to flip Texas, Florida, or they would need to have the independent win in Nebraska. The Senate's going to be close, no doubt. I mean, look, I sure as God hope that Already wins in Texas. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Sammy needs to take calls. I would take calls. I just don't know how I would do that exactly. Like from a technological I could figure it out, but Bjorn says, I think John Tester has a decent chance of winning. Last polls I was looking at from him were pretty bad. Montana Senate race polls. Wait, but one thing about this poll, it is within the margin of error, so that's good. Montana 5.3 lead. You guys can't see the percentages, can you? Sorry about that. 5.3% lead. It's tough. It's not impossible. It's certainly not impossible for him to win in Montana. Again, polls are not the most accurate. Again, they're more accurate as you get closer, but I think there's a great incumbency advantage in the Senate. There's no doubt there's a great incumbency advantage in the Senate. No doubt. Again, this is, look, we saw bigger swings than 5.3% even in 2022 midterms. So my dad always likes to bring up that New York special election too, right? Where there was like a 7-point swing from the polls or something like that. So we'll see. We'll see. New Mexico, people want New Mexico. New Mexico Senate poll. Seems like the Democrat has a pretty massive lead. As much as 13, as low as 11%. I mean, it seems pretty safe for the Dem, for Heinrich, in, what's that state called? New Mexico. Fried Jemmy says Colin ad read ads in Texas say he has taken the lead, but Fox News thinks Cruz is still winning. Look, it's a toss-up, really. Sam, please consider doing Zoom meetings for election night. It would be so much fun. Oh, so call-ins via Zoom is what you're saying? That's possible. I don't know about election night. I mean, we'll see. I'm not exactly sure what our like. I feel like it will be pretty busy, especially we start at 7. Some people are saying just use Discord. Yeah, maybe I'll just use Discord. That's a good idea to use Discord. I don't have Discord downloaded on this computer yet, but I will. The Pool-tastic fan of Deadpool says, apparently voting trend on YouTube thinks Allan is wrong, or voting trend on YT, Young Turks. What do you think about voting trends model who goes off stats of early voting and comparing? I don't know. I don't know much about it. Let me check it out. So it's voting trends. Voting trends. What's it? Be more. What should I look up? I'm lost. Oh, it's on YouTube. Sharon Novak says Dems could possibly do better, but not worse. That's a fair point too. Let's see. I can't watch a 9-minute video right now. Sorry, guys. Sorry about all these ads that pop up. There's nothing I can really do about that, though. On my dad's show, I wanted to get rid of them because they were distracting, but this is a Lichtman Live post show. We're a little more casual here, you know? All right. Sam, do you use Firefox or DuckDuckGo? I just use Google, guys. I'm sorry if I disappoint you. Ever thought of setting up a Twitch stream alongside YouTube? I've thought about it. I just don't know much about Twitch. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just more work. Do I vote? Yes, I've already voted. Philip H. says, a New York Times published poll on October 8, for example, found that 9% of Republicans responded said that they would support Harris if the election were held that day. Imagine how many just won't vote, too. Anyone call you Sam? Most people call me Sam. My YouTube name is just Sammy Led because it sounds better with, I don't know. I need a better YouTube name, but. Philip H., if that poll is correct, 9% of people, 9% of Republicans said they would vote for Harris. I mean, she's gonna crush. Do Florida Senate? Florida Senate poll. Scott is ahead by 4.5. Yeah, I mean he's got a lead, but it's not massive. It'd be, yeah, I mean, dude, I don't know, like I just don't know what to gauge the Senate off of with polling being so inaccurate as of late. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know what to gauge, how to gauge it. Goji8 says, tell people to click like on your page. Guys, click like on my page, please. What do you think about this, Sam, the Lichtman? No, I can't do that. People want New York. Is New York close? It's pretty blight. It's pretty solid blue. Why do people want New York? Chris Rosenau says, I hear so often, quote, I'm not voting for either main candidate. Does that affect the keys like your dad says? Not getting out the vote does, and it could give us Trump. I don't believe it affects the keys, no. And I don't think it helps Trump. ANT says where the early voting distribution is more spread out, I think suggests younger and never Trumper turnout. Maybe. Like you mean like in a state like, let me get the, oh wait, no, I meant to, like you mean like in a state like Wisconsin where like others are winning 41%? Is that what you mean? It could be. That's a fair point. Definitely a fair point if I'm reading you correctly. John Lovell says, you voting for Trump? Yeah, man, I voted for Trump. No. I'll tell you straight up. I voted for Kamala Harris. I know it's a huge shocker to everybody. Best Side says abortion is on the ballot in Florida. Yeah, I've heard people say that and use that as reasoning to say that Florida is going to turn blue. It's possible, but unlikely. Guys, that was a joke. I have never voted for Trump, and I will never, and I am not voting for Trump. Never voting for Trump, period. Shahan Lee says, even if a referendum is placed, people generally vote yes for it and not the candidates. That might be true. I can't. If Sheehan's right, you're right. Things like that in Florida don't matter. When will we play GeoGuessr again? I don't know. Maybe after the election. What's my master's degree in? Film and media. Raul says, Sam, I'm sorry, but there is no way a Hillary Clinton state is voting to the right of North Carolina and Georgia. The early voting is wrong. That's a fair point. Does it bother you if billionaires are getting involved in campaigns like Mark Cuban and Elon Musk? Yes, I'm sick of billionaires sticking their hand into politics, trying to tip the scales one way or another. They should be like everybody else. They get one voice, one vote. Why vote for Kamala? Makes zero sense. I'm voting for Kamala because to sustain our democracy, because I believe that their economic plan is better for the United States, better than Trump's. I'm basing that off of concrete policy they've passed, like the CHIPS Act, the Infrastructure Act, versus Trump's policies like this tax bill, which mostly went to rich people. I believe in climate change. I believe in women's choice. Should I keep going? I mean, it's not even a contest. Mark Cuban is not giving away money. Don't get me wrong. Mark Cuban is much better. His what he's doing is, I believe, much more fair than what Elon's doing. But I don't know. I'm just sick of billionaires trying to. If you want to run, then run. You know what I mean? The whole like celebrity billionaire endorsement thing kind of is annoying. Would you prefer Tim Walz as the nominee? No. Who did I support in the 2016 Democratic primaries? Elizabeth Warren. Jason says, tariffs and an inhumane border versus universal health care and a healthy democracy. Agreed with you, Jason. Pete M says, it's amazing how supporters for Trump willingly vote against their best interests when it could not be clearer. Seniors will get screwed the worst with a Trump win. I agree with you. Oh, I thought Warren ran in 2020. Yeah, I'm thinking about 2020. 2016. I believe I voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016. But I'm not sure. I was pretty torn. Sorry, I got 2016 and 2020. In 2020, I supported Elizabeth Warren. 2016, I was very torn. I think I might have not even voted in the primary in 2016, to be honest with you, because I was so torn. What do you think about the idea of mandating all campaign funding be equal and federally mandated? I like that idea on the surface. I'd have to do more research about it. Excuse me. Kamala wouldn't even do a non-scripted interview with Joe Rogan. She fake. Yeah, man. Let's base our vote off of a Joe Rogan podcast, whether or not our candidate went on or not. That's a really good way to vote. P. Douglas says, it says a lot about a person's character if felony convictions, sexual assault, and insurrection are not deal breakers for them. Look, I don't want to get into personal. I think the issue is that they don't believe a lot of that. It's not that they don't care about it. I don't know. Maybe they don't care. I don't know. RA20 says, Rogan, I'm sorry, but sucks. I totally agree with that. He's not that funny of a comedian. He has some interesting podcasts, but for the most part, when I hear him talking to smart, important people, he doesn't have any idea what he's talking about. I think it's a shame that people don't give more attention to real, hardworking journalists who make no money. And, you know, he's not a journalist, you know what I mean? And it just sucks that people watch him like he is some sort of like arbiter of the truth or something. It's annoying. Why doesn't your father give Trump the challenger charisma key? Trump's garbage truck thing was sort of charismatic to his base. That's the issue. You got to read the book. You have to be widely considered charismatic. It can't be only within a small base of people. Sam, don't you think it's an indictment of our country that the presidential race is even as close as it is? I don't know if I'd go that far, but it is a little concerning that it's as close as it is, for sure. I think a lot of it just has to do with a really clear and stark ideological divide in this country. I just feel like if you're a Republican, pretty like conservative Republican, the majority of people in that ideological field will never vote for a Republican for president, and vice versa on the Democrats. So I think that's why it's as close as it is, because even if people necessarily don't want Trump, think he's a bad guy, think they're going to vote for him over a Democrat, which is scary to think about, but true. BW says, to understand why people support Trump, you have to understand the history of the culture war from 1980 to today. Abortion, homosexuality, guns, and religion are the main issues. That's what I'm saying, is like people who hold those issues, people who are very solidly conservative, who hold those issues close, will never vote for a Democrat. and vice versa on the other side. Does the age distribution for early voting worry you? Not really. Not really. Especially because it seemed pretty promising in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Again, if she wins those two states, she's pretty much a shoo-in. Sam, what was your reaction to the World Series win? Low key, I was rooting for the Dodgers. And my dad's a huge Yankees fan, but it's like, I live in LA. It's like, I wanted to see the Dodgers win. RV Davis is just in from Arizona. Kamala pulls ahead 62 male AZ. Oh, for voting distribution or early voting? I don't know what you're talking about in terms of... Oh, you're just talking about... I don't know what you're talking about, brother. Did I see people celebrating in the streets? You know what? I didn't. I didn't go out after the game. I saw plenty of videos of it, but I didn't see it myself. The Democrats should have made a bigger push to rural America. I don't disagree with that. Do you think there will be a red mirage this year? Yeah, that's sort of the way I'm leaning. Do you think the ballot initiative in Ohio will make a difference in the future elections? I'm not familiar with it. Let me look it up. Ballot initiative, Ohio. Established the Ohio citizens restricting a 15-minute non for adopting state legislature and congressional plans. Is that the one? I don't know enough about it. I have to do a lot more research. I'm sorry, I don't think I can properly answer that. Brad Watson says, I live in Arkansas, Bible Belt. Trump equals religion here. People seriously can't separate their religious views from their politics. I think that's a very, very true point. Why do you think Trump is still that strong with non-college white voters? Like we just said, because a lot of those people hold those issues very closely, and they're, and that's why. Would I run for government? No. Too slimy. How come you're not too worried about a 2000 repeat given the Supreme Court? Do you just feel the election isn't going to be quite close enough for that? I don't think it's going to be quite close enough for that. And also, we got to remember that in 2000, there was a presidential candidate running with his brother running the state, John Ross Ford says, I'm not sure if you were speaking to me earlier. I said Trump appeals to rural America and the Dems need to make a bigger push for the demographic in the future. I agree. Yes, I agree with you. I do agree with you. I was talking to you. Freedom of religion demands freedom from religion. Agreed. She can't do an unscripted interview. I've seen her do an unscripted interview, so you're wrong. I've seen it. Ross says, if we weren't so polarized and if we weren't such a terrible fractured media environment, then Harris would probably win in a real landslide. I agree with that. Joe Ucut 2020 says, we already passed a gerrymandering bill in Ohio in 2016. Repubs tied it up in court because it passed and they didn't like it. So now we're doing it again. When it passes, Repubs will tie it up again. That's not good. Thank you for your perspective and explaining that to us. If the Supreme Court tries to steal the election, we should just ignore their order. It would be a totally illegal ruling anyway. I don't know. How do you just ignore us? I don't know how that would work exactly. Harris has so many paths of victory. This won't be close. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. She just has so many ways to win, and Trump doesn't really. Washington Post endorses Harris. I thought they were not making an endorsement. I don't see anything. I don't see anything that says they endorsed anybody. I see no evidence of that, whoever said that. People always sending me on wild goose chases, man. It's annoying. Am I 6'5"? No, I'm 6'2". Do you think we are underestimating the impact of large female turnout even in Florida and Texas? How large is it in Florida and Texas? That's pretty large. That's pretty large. Maybe we are under. Yeah, maybe. I think it's a valid point. Sammy, are you a gym bro? No. Do I have a girlfriend? No. Dogs are the worst. All right, Jay, get out of here, bro. Why would you say that to me? You literally heard my dog barking. The thing is, when people come in and out of my apartment, he hears the door open, so he gets excited, and then he wants to go out and see them, and when he's bored with them, he wants to come back in. So I'm on this constant game of back and forth with him. Economists endorse Harris, not the Washington Post. Do you think Biden's comment will hurt Kamala's chances? No. These one-off comments here and there do not affect elections. Squirrely Squirrel says the Supreme Court didn't intervene on Trump's behalf during the last election when he had the powers of the presidency. I don't think they will this time either. I agree with that. Also, remember Biden has immunity. I agree with you, Squirrely Squirrel. Did Margaret Thatcher have girl power? That's the most random question. To a certain extent, yes. Wall Street Journal, quote, the next president inherits a remarkable economy. So they endorsed her in that? Wall Street Journal. Next president, great economy. The next president, when did they publish this? Oh, this morning. The next president inherits a remarkable economy. I got paywalled. So in this, do they say that they're endorsing her? Like it's a weirdly a very oddly phrased headline. You know what I mean? It's like they're endorsing her without endorsing her. Incognito. I'm in incognito. It's not an endorsement by the newspaper. Gotcha. They're just praising the state of the economy, right? Does the Wall Street Journal, they normally endorse people, right? Or no? Oh, Wall Street Journal does not do endorsements. There you go. Should we be worried the New York Post endorsed Trump? No, the New York Post is a joke. I don't think anybody takes them seriously. Kusher says, if Pennsylvania wins by 1 vote, that's me. Thank you, Kusher. We appreciate your service. The Economist not Economist generally. The Economist. The Economist. Kamala. Endorsement. There you go. A second Trump term comes with unacceptable risk. If The Economist had a vote, we would cast it for Kamala Harris. God damn, damn, everything's got a paywall now. I mean, I understand why they have paywalls, but it's just like, god dang, everything's got a freaking paywall. What do you make of Buzz Aldrin endorsing Trump? I make nothing of it. Paywalls drive people to fake news. That's actually an interesting point. I never thought about it like that before, but that feels kind of true. Chat GPT endorsed Kamala Harris. Come on, that's it. They're trolling me, right? Great GDP numbers, low unemployment, inflation coming down, elusive soft landing for the economy, better than all competitor countries in the world. I am from Germany. The U.S. is far stronger. Yeah, I think people are starting to use that messaging, which is good. All right, folks. People are at my house. We're about to watch some movies for Halloween and stuff. I think I'm going to join them. I appreciate you all coming on. I mean, what a great day. Records for Lichtman Live. Records for the Lichtman Live post show. What a beautiful day. And remember, Tuesday, election coverage. Don't forget. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.